The following video is quite a strange one, and obviously a bit older. It is said that a group of friends went to a supposedly haunted and abandoned building in the woods. There's a local legend about a manangal creature that is stalking these parts of the woods, and some people swear to have seen it. The group arrived at this abandoned place in the hopes to capture it on video tonight. Let's take a look. I mean, it is certainly hard to say what exactly they came across here, I find. Some say that this thing reminds them of a vampire. Others believe this to have been a prank with some terrible makeup. Well, what do you believe? A manangal or Uncle Hank with a Halloween mask?
Whoa.
Antonio was apparently staying at his cousin's place over a long weekend. Located in the basement, he made himself home and spent the long Sunday night with playing some Resident Evil on his Xbox. But as you have noticed, Antonio gets distracted by a strange noise, which appears to be stemming from one of the other rooms. While he keeps finding misplaced items scrambled all around the house, we can also make out some heavy orbs that can be seen in several frames of his recording. Interesting side note, this night he was the only person home. What at this point seems to be paranormal activity only worsens over time. What could have turned the sink on?
C'est pas drôle, arrête.
Pretty freaked out, Antonio investigates each room in the house. It doesn't take long until he makes out a dark figure. Video starts off in an old school in Argentina. In the early morning hours, a neighbor had called the police because he saw that the door to the school had been left open and was concerned, which caused several officers to arrive at the scene. After they had arrived, they quickly realized that nobody had forced their entry into the building. The locks were still intact. Nevertheless, they make their way through the abandoned corridors. Bodycam captured them entering and exploring several parts of the school, and nobody seemed to be around at first. But after a moment, the camera seems to capture an unexplained shape. Did you see it? Again. At first it appeared to be a child, but then it almost looked like a woman in a white dress. What do you think? Was it an apparition? Now we want to check out a video from Charm City Paranormal, and they state that they went to the Wildwood Sanatorium, which is a haunted hospital located in western New York that dates back to the mid-1800s. Let's see what happened that night.
So, yeah, I didn't know anything about it. Well, they gave me directions to come look at it, and I just looked at the place, and I'm like, look at this place. It's like, oh my God, you know? And literally, I thought about it like 24/7. I couldn't stop thinking about the place. It like drove me insane. It was like the house was calling me to buy it. Being there.
That's interesting. I mean, it looks super creepy. If you're not afraid of those type of houses, you are really brave.
It was like a holistic place for healing and stuff. I think that was part of the reason, because they knew that me and my daughter are Reiki healers besides, and we're also psychic mediums too.
There you go.
So
that makes a perfect home.
the house knew it wanted to go back to originally what it was. It didn't want to be a regular house. It didn't want to be apartments. It didn't want to be any of that.
So now we dive straight into the night investigation of the house.
Yeah, my name's Ethan. I'm Mike.
There have been a lot of weird noises so far, but nothing really crazy.
Anybody's here with us? Wow. Never seen this thing freak out like this. Yeah, there's a cold spot on your REM pod. I don't know if it's because of the plastic and maybe it's just cold, but why would there be a cold spot?
And now we jump straight into the basement.
Back here. Woo, that's creepy back there. Okay, alright. I just got a really weird feeling over there. Whew, I don't know.
I just heard something over there. Yeah, what was that? Did you just make a noise?
No.
You didn't like cough or grunt just now? I just heard a noise over there, and then I heard it sounded like you were clearing your throat.
No.
You did not hear that on camera, I believe.
Are you
Finally coming out?
Hey. Hey. How are you?
Oh, I forgot about that back room.
What was that? Was that a pair of legs?
If you watch to the left of the frame, you can see something duck behind the threshold as I pull back the curtain. Now, this could very easily be mistaken for dust, but I found it strange that this dust stretched the way that it did, even at full speed.
It's true.
Here's that same moment broken down frame by frame. Notice how it stretches before actually disappearing out of frame. Dust doesn't do that.
So, here you see it a little bit better. I feel that this could be of paranormal origin, of course. I was not part of this investigation, but it does look quite unique to me. You don't capture that really that often. The following is a recording that was shared by a man who started documenting some really unusual activity in his new house. He had just moved in recently, and ever since had trouble sleeping at night. Seeing shadows and weird apparitions was nothing new for him. That's why he started recording these incidents now. The tone of his voice clearly indicates that he was freaked out a little bit.
the
Besides this item being moved up there, however, there was something even more terrifying. A shadow apparition that was standing in one of the other rooms, and he didn't see it. That makes this even more creepy. Was it maybe the reason for all this ghostly activity? Or was it just visiting him that night? Certainly really terrifying if you think about it. If the man moved houses after this is unknown. Now we are taking a look at an eerie recording which was shared by Jerica. She and her family moved into a new home. They found out way later that it was supposed to be home to several ghosts. How they found out about it? Well, it seems that their neighbors have mentioned something. The first time, however, that one of them noticed an eerie event was when their youngest daughter, Jerica, was just about to leave for work in the morning and noticed something quite spooky while sitting in her car.
Does that look like a face in my window, or am I tripping? Yo, that's there's no one in my house. Like, am I tripping? Or do you see that?
It looks like a creepy face is peeking out of her bedroom. How's that possible? Maybe a visitor from the afterlife. The day after, she records another video for comparison.
Look, there's nothing in my window today.
What happened here? Your guess is as good as mine. This video was recorded by another nightly driver who states that he was just traveling through a rural area close to his hometown. He was on his way home after a late shift and had never seen or captured anything out of the ordinary on his nightly trips. His dash cam, however, captured quite the creepy encounter tonight. His camera made this incident look like a floating sheet that was spooking him out here, but based on his reports, he saw it as a grayish semi-transparent object that was floating in the middle of the road and trying to grab the car, as weird as this sounds. When looking into the mirror, he couldn't see anything though, and brushed it off at first, as he maybe just having imagined it. But after reviewing the dashcam recording, he was actually quite puzzled. Who knows what exactly this sheet thing was? This was shared by Wade Lanigan, who's basically just hanging out with his son in the living room here. He has captured several strange incidents in the past and is recording video surveillance on the regular. Today he also suspects that he caught one of the several spirits that is said to haunt this home. The figure of a shadow man with a large top hat can be seen as he's walking across the living room and reflecting in the mirror, which is quite a surprise to everybody. If it is residing in his home or if it's a haunting that is bound to his family is unknown. Many people believe that there's way more behind this than Wade is sharing with us, but who can say? following video was supposedly captured by a tourist on vacation who was exploring a local temple that day. Whilst just a few steps away from the location, he captured something quite strange right next to a statue. Some people say that this was possibly a spirit that manifested, and that stands in relation with the temple nearby. Could this be so? If that's not the case, maybe we just became witness to a strange camera occurrence. Perhaps even an artifact, who can say? The next clip was uploaded to Reddit by user John Slang, who captured this footage on his Ring surveillance camera outside his house at 5 AM. He wrote, "I think I caught a ghost on my Ring. Brightened the video with my iPhone. Keep an eye on the far left of the recording." John states that he has no idea who or what this could have been, and that he was pretty spooked by this sighting. Many commenters have mentioned that the figure in the video appears to be headless and dressed all in white. There's no surveillance footage showing any person entering the area, and John knows this is not a person from his household. Everybody was asleep at the time. So, was this a paranormal incident? The next one is a really unusual video. It was sent to me by Sandy, and the story goes that it was recorded by a baby monitor in a home in the United States. The father noticed that something didn't seem right with this recording and shared it on Facebook in hopes to find answers. The man stated, "I'm a very skeptical person. However, I don't know how to explain this. Our son woke up in the middle of the night, and he has a stuffed animal in his baby bed. What struck me at first was how cold it was in the room. The monitor showed only 18 degrees Celsius. We never keep the house below 21 degrees, however. Then I noticed the following. For whatever reason, we noticed that the teddy bear seemed to be moving, but how is that possible? Was a ghost perhaps moving it, hence the steep drop in temperature? The family believes that something otherworldly must have been at play here. Could this be? The following video was captured by a CCTV camera that was overseeing a stretch of beach. The original source is unknown, however, the video resurfaced on a paranormal TikTok channel. The story goes that the two young men in the video were on the way to a friend that particular night, when all of a sudden they noticed a loud noise and saw something hovering over them. A second later, one of the two men mysteriously vanished. As we see, one of the two men is indeed simply disappearing into thin air, and the other one is making a run for it. It is also unknown if the man disappearing could be found after this incident, or what exactly had happened to him. It surely doesn't look like a glitch or a light reflection. The man is definitely gone. Yet, we have to ask ourselves, was this a mysterious incident, or did somebody tamper with the footage? Some do believe this was the doing of a UFO. Could this be so? The following recordings were documented by user Domadius. The young man just moved into a new apartment and states that recently pretty unusual events started unfolding. Doors moving by themselves and noises out of nowhere. This night he started to film these encounters. In particular, the bathroom seems to be a really curious room.
Is anybody in here? What in the... Hello? I swear you bet... Hello? You better not be pranking me right now. Oh. Guys, you literally will not believe this. I literally just had that door thing happening, and now I have that happening. There is nobody in there, and now I have my lights going on and off when I'm trying to sleep. This is absolutely ridiculous. This has been happening for the past 5 minutes, and like, how is anybody supposed to sleep? What the?
Did something peek out of the bathroom here?
Hello?
A few moments later, the poltergeist activity only intensifies.
Hey guys, just waking up, getting ready for work, and here we go once again. We got this door moving. We got my bathroom door moving. Hey, please stop, spirits. Please. I'm actually, like, honestly scared to go check right now, because what if something's like... Oh my... Oh. Please stop. Please.
But one of the most terrifying encounters was just about to unfold, when Domadius woke up the same night, and yet again heard some strange noises from the bathroom. The following unfolded. There was something standing in front of the closet. People believe that it was a negative shadow entity that likes to play tricks on him in there. How creepy. This video was found in the paranormal section of Reddit. Two young men were supposedly discovering the tunnels of an old mine. They were going on trips together quite frequently and found some really strange stuff in some of these tunnels, to say the least. But this video was a bit different than the others. As they were making it through the abandoned mine shafts, the man filming can capture something without even noticing it at the time. There's a large shadow standing in the distance. The men were sure that it couldn't have been caused by any of the two, and there was nobody else in there. After a quick pan, this shadow has just vanished. The shadow itself also is looking quite a bit odd in terms of proportion. The head looks quite big, but it also could be that whoever is reflected on the rocks here is wearing a jacket with a large collar. They had no idea what we were seeing here. It was an inexplicable event for the two men, up until this day.